The QL exercise, or the Quadratus Lumborum muscle, is something that allows us to extend our spine. Now it's supposed to be quite tight, it's between the pelvis and the lumbar spines around the L1 and L2, and sometimes one side gets slightly more overused than the other and it could end up hitching the hip up a little bit. So we're going to just give the QL muscles, which are actively sort of just above that pelvis area, a little bit of work. So if I've given you the QL number 2 exercise, you need to get a nice wide base here. Relax your shoulders, tuck your chin away from your ears. Imagine you've got your arms in tubes. So you're going to just effectively take your rib cage slightly over the pelvis on each side. Now it's not a stretch, it's just a nice mobility movement for the spine. So I want to allow about 8 or 12 movements in each direction. And just by doing this a couple of times, you may start to discover that you actually are quite, comfortable on one side, but the other side just feels a little bit stiffer than the other. So I'm making sure I've got the sit bones in the chair. I'm making sure I've got some good presence in the foot so that I don't feel unbalanced. And when my arms start getting tired, which is now, I'm going to relax. The wall glide exercise for the QL muscles. So we need a wall, we need his feet fairly together, not too wide apart, so keep them together. And I'm going to put my hands on my hips and make sure that, I'm not too far away from the wall. It's quite scary feeling this next bit. You're actually going to lean against the wall. So this leaning has the action of almost gluing the rib cage area to the wall. So everything below the rib cage is free to move. So I'm going to just gently see if I can just transfer my hip towards the wall, but obviously not my rib cage, that's stuck. And it's just a very gentle gliding movement laterally. It's not a stretch. It should cause you no pain. If it does, you're either making the movement too fast or you're too far away from the wall. So if I bring my feet even close to the wall, there's less motion. So that might be just what you need. So just play around with it, sense how far you're taking that hip movement to the wall. And I'm aiming for 12 glides, 8 to start with maybe, go up to 12. And then once you've done your 12, you need to do it on the other side, because we've obviously got 2 sides to these QL muscles around the spine that need to be worked. So we turn round and do the other hip, and elbow, so maybe to get yourself leaning against the wall. And we're gliding the hip to the wall. My rib cage is stable and my hip glides. Start with 8, aim for 12, see if you can do it twice a day. There may be a wall that you love and you need to stand against. See if it makes a difference to the way you move laterally.